Welcome to Stermole Stadium. CISA and Flatirons set to battle for the third time this season. USL W Women's action. I'm Sam Johnson, joined alongside Arnav Pokrel for what should be an interesting game. It's warm, and CISA are depleted. They only come out with 9 players today. Flatirons, of course, a full 11, as you'd imagine. We can get into starting lineups here, starting with Flatirons. And it's the first time we see Rebecca Sargent in net, her first start. First time someone not named Rebecca Winton has started in goal. She's 18 years old, number 18. On the back line, it's Barkey, McCorkle, Whitten, and Knoll. In the midfield, Mary Perez, Allison Kirkpatrick, and Natalie Toledo, who was not in the game Thursday, inserted into the lineup. Another new face for today's match, Isabel Sontheimer, Sophie Whitten up top, and Clara Kulik on the right wing. And CISA, well, they're starting everyone they can. Kylie Hyde will be in net, her second start, 5th appearance. Usually it's Rosenbaum, but based on some recent performances, maybe it shouldn't be. Tegan Herbers, Jolie Breenholt, Morris, Krumholz, Vasquez, Musafar, Charlie Bell, and Rochelle Pinto are going to be the starters for CISA. They're going to be playing quite far back today, Arnav, because they don't have the numbers and they don't have the quality to play up. Should be quite a few goals coming for Flatirons. How do they make sure they finish off those chances?
Yeah, well, goals have been an issue this year for this Flatirons side. I mean, to have all of your goals this season come against this CISA side, 4 in that 4-1 victory and then the 1 in the 1-0 victory. Other than that, Flatirons have struggled to put the ball in the net. And so simply the act is you're up a man the entire game, right? Take control of possession, move the players as far forward as you can, and then whip the ball into the box. You've got Sophia Whitten up top for the first time. She's usually a box-to-box midfielder, but what she did at the end of that Albion game, which was so crucial for this team in getting a foothold in that second half, was control the pace of play. She plays with her back to goal, is able to hold up the ball really well, and that's what Flatirons needed, is someone to control the play up top. Denali Levin is a workhorse. She runs around a lot on the press, but just doesn't have that hold-up play that Sophia Whitten does, and that experience as a midfielder that she can bring in up top as well. So it was a rough first 45 minutes against Albion. The adjustment was crucial, and that's exactly what Flatirons did to have a much more successful second half. But you mentioned it. We're going to take a look back at one of the Rebecca Winton saves from last game, because this is a crucial change for Flatirons to not have Rebecca Winton. Becca Sargent's in now. She's from LCCC, a college that this team knows very well. A bunch of players from LCCC playing. Even on CISA, you've got Rochelle Pinto, who's an LCCC player. So, you know, a new face in goal is always an interesting situation because players haven't played much. They're not match ready. But this is probably the best game for Sargent to get that first match underway.
Yeah, she might not touch the ball often, but we'll see what CISA can do. You mentioned Pinto, who had a few chances in their previous meeting on June 3rd in Highlands Ranch, but they just, again, down a man. Can they find a way to break through at some point? Probably not. Flatirons, you mentioned Sophia Whitten. She has 2 goals against CISA this season. Scored the first goal of the year for the women's side back on May 23rd. Early second half goal in that 1-0 win over CISA. But the story, aside from the heat, is the fact that CISA come out with 10 players to this now 3rd meeting of the year between these 2 squads.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting. I think we're pretty confident on what CISA's going to do. They're going to sit in a 4-4-1. They'll have their 4 midfielders sit in this deep, low block and have that one outlet in Charlie Bell, who's played 6 games, 322 minutes this season. So all of these players that are playing today have played in excess of 250 minutes on the year. The only one that hasn't is Vanessa Vasquez, and she's close at 220 minutes. So these players know how to play a lot of minutes. Now the question is, can they turn that into quality minutes and have a good 90 minutes against a Flatirons team that'll have subs, that'll have fresh legs coming on regularly? So it'll be interesting. I think we're in for a pretty good game here. And for Flatirons, it's about taking advantage of opportunities that come their way.
Both keepers who were a big part of the most recent meeting between these 2 teams, really, you could boil it down to all 5 goals in the 4-1 win being their fault in some way. Rosenbaum, of course, the keeper for CISA, but they're both not on the pitch today. The 2 new faces, Sargent on the Flatirons side, and CISA making the change to Kylie Hyde. And already Flatirons win a throw far side. Going to spend most of this game in the attacking half. Flatirons come in at 2-3-1. CISA, 6 losses on the year. They were 0-12 last season. They've been a bit better, haven't conceded as many goals, but still can't find a way to win a match. Even though the one meeting they did have that I would say we saw some quality was the most recent one, June 3rd, against Flatirons. 4-1 game. They found a goal, their second of the year. Emmy Sullivan a free kick. And they had some great chances that they couldn't finish off. They conceded 4, of course, but again, Rosenbaum just made some pretty howling errors in net. But overall, it was not a bad showing. Now, they did have 11 players for that game.
And some subs that game as well.
Chasing down to the corner here and keeping it in. Nearly Jaden Knoll.
Yeah, Jaden Knoll had a great game against Albion. That entire back line did in that 0-0 game. Winton obviously got player of the match because of her 9 saves on the night. But the entire back line from Zoe Witt and Keegan McCorkle and Jaden Knoll especially had some incredible performances. And even the substitutes that came on, Kira Robertson played really well. Kira Barker as well had a great game. In just controlling the pace of play is what Flatirons needed to do in that second half. And they did exactly that. Both the younger players and the more experienced players coming in, making a difference.
And really the only notable moment, aside from some of the quality, was a yellow that Mary Perez picked up in the second half. Again, no goals, 0-0 draw to Albion on Thursday. Here's Whidden over to Knoll on this near side as they enjoy some possession here. They'll enjoy a lot of possession today. We've got the men's game at 8 against CISA. They've beaten CISA twice this season as well. As Kulik gets tangled up. And CISA do have 2 goals this season. One came against Flatirons on June 3rd. Emmy Sullivan. They've conceded 27. Goal difference last season was -88, so -25 this year, halfway through, on pace for -50 about as they move up the pitch here. Some space for Charlie Bell. Might get the first shot. Bell on her left foot, and a save made by Sargent. Pretty simple one, but charging forward there, Bell had a lot of space. Nobody really coming up to challenge, and she got the first shot of the game.
Yeah, and Flatirons just sat back there. No one aggressive to the ball. I think that's part of the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game is you want to sit back, allow CISA to tire themselves out a little bit because they don't have the substitutes to make those plays, and then it frees up opportunities like this where if Kulik's just a step back and she's onside, that's a clear-cut chance for Flatirons.
Yep. And again, the heat as well. You mentioned tiring them out. I think both sides are going to be a little tired, but especially CISA. He had no options off the bench. Herbers will take this free kick. Header down by Knoll. Toledo tried to win it in the midfield, then finally knocked over the top. And a control by the keeper. Some notable losses this year for both these sides. Utah United, that road trip, CISA lost 8-0 at home, though. Then Flatirons had another 8-0 loss against Utah on the road. So both teams kind of bottom feeders in this Mountain Division, but they've had their moments. CISA trying to control this wild ball. Finally one off them, and here's Kulik. She has it one off of her. In the air as Bell tried to challenge. And they can move it back, Knoll to McCorkle. Flatirons have managed to score 5 goals this season, 17 against. Finishing off chances has been a bit of a problem this year. They just haven't really gained full control in the midfield just yet. CISA have thwarted the few movements forward. This one's played wide. Knoll chasing it. And look at the space, but too far.
But that's what Flatirons has to do today. You're up a player, you look for the open space. Someone is always going to be open. You just have to find that player. So when Flatirons is able to do that, that'll be beneficial for how the team wants to play, how the team wants to move.
It's just infinite pockets of space for Flatirons. Can they exploit them? Will be the question. They force a deep throw. Herbers tries to get away from Toledo and has it knocked out for a goal kick.
And so far, it hasn't been bad from CISA in terms of the first couple of moments of movement. You mentioned the one chance forward, a pretty tame shot at the end for the visitors, but for Sargent, that first save is crucial because you haven't made a save yet in the league. You're coming off of not playing for 6 games straight, and finally you're called into action early on in the game, and she was locked in. So that first save gets rid of the nervousness, gets rid of the jitters, and allows for Flatirons to build out now from the back.
Muzaffar plays it wide. Controlled by Vasquez on the far side. Shoves down her defender. And Flatirons with a free kick.
That's Allie Kirkpatrick. She's been on a great run of form as well. Plays the defensive midfield spot for Flatirons. And someone who can turn into space and create some offense for this team that is in need of a lot of offense, especially in a game like this.
Kirkpatrick is from Broomfield, Colorado. Perez on the ball here. Whidden plays it back.
And these games have always been about that first goal for Flatirons. Sophia Whidden got it in the second half in the season opener, but the last time these two teams met on June 3rd, after that first goal was scored, the floodgates really opened for this Flatirons side, and then goals continue to pour in. Barkey went on a great run and scored. Natalia Toledo had a fortunate bounce her way where she tapped in a goal. So if Flatirons can get this first one early, expect the goals to come often, but if it takes them a while to break down the CISA team, don't be surprised if it's a 1 or 2 goal game.
Lily Cook, who's not in the lineup today, starting lineup at least, scored 10 minutes into that meeting. And then, as you mentioned, floodgates opened up. Led 3-1 at the break. Then able to score one more in the second half. That was Whidden's second of the year after scoring in their first meeting. CISA enjoying a little bit of possession here early. Game really hasn't quite settled down yet. Bell wins it off an attempted clear. Still chasing his Bell. Able to win it back. I think CISA have shown a little bit more initiative through the first 8 minutes. Herbers. A good turn, able to knock it up. And Perez on the ball. Trying to get away from Pinto. And CISA playing with 10 players in this game. They've got no options off the bench, obviously. Here's Seahughes in far side. Been in quite a few moments this year for CISA from Elizabeth, Colorado. Herbers played it centrally, knocked away by Perez, and Whidden wins it up top, but couldn't quite bring that down. It's been about mid-80s all day today. Had a lot of rain recently. That was the story for the men's home opener. Kulik, as it knocked away, wins a throw. And Herbers already quite a lot of action on this near side, the left back. Knoll, Kulik tries to get around Herbers, takes a bump and wins a free kick.
And set pieces are going to be crucial for this Flatirons team today. It's about not how many chances, but how quality can you get a ball in, deliver a ball in, and make a play.
Ball driven in. And CISA, not a great clearance. Chance here, Perez took a swing. Another hit, Kirkpatrick at a save made. Ball still loose in. And ruled out for a goal kick. But a couple of chances. First sight of goal for Flatirons. Excuse me, that is a corner. And Kirkpatrick will go take it.
Yeah, first chance from Perez. Great block, and then CISA just fell asleep defensively. Kirkpatrick laced one towards goal. It's a good first save for CISA.
It was all due to that awkward clearance at the edge of the box that more went backwards and forwards. So Kirkpatrick to deliver this free kick. Drives it in low and just didn't quite hit that one the way she wanted to for a goal kick.
Yeah, definitely didn't catch that one how she wanted for it to sort of roll on the ground. That's never how you want to take a free kick,
No.
and so now it's got to put that one behind you if you get another chance to take one if you're Kirkpatrick.
Right to the feet of Flatirons again. Kulik plays one not on the same page with Whidden. Another story for CISA, they don't have Emmy Sullivan, their main center back, number 22, who had 8 starts last year, started every game but this one, and just didn't show up today. Scored that free kick in their most recent meeting with Flatirons on June 3rd, right at the end of the first half. It's an absolute banger. But she is definitely an anchor on the back line that saved a lot of chances in that first and second meeting. This one goes out for another goal kick. Flatirons just not quite settled into this one yet. Still waiting to get their feet underneath them.
And for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, that's okay, right? You're up a player, you're settling in, you're figuring out what works offensively. But after that 15-minute mark, it has to be all systems go for this Flatiron side. You're up a player. You have to take advantage, because if you let CISA sit in this game and maybe they work a chance like they already have in the first 5 minutes, then it becomes dangerous, because you're allowing a team that's a scrappy team that wants to win a game this season because they've lost their last 18 games at least, going all the way back to last year. You don't want to let a scrappy team like that into a game and give them a chance and let them have those opportunities on set pieces.
Trying to find something more direct and forward. Kirkpatrick plays it to the left side. Played over the top, just too far offside anyway. Trickles all the way through.
If you're Flatirons, those runs can't stop, because that's how you garner these chances, is you make the center backs more and more tired. Every time you run forward, the center backs have to track you. And so continuing those runs is really important for this Flatirons team going into the final moments of the first half, but it'll especially important in the second half when you get fresh legs on if you're the Irons.
And again, without Emmy Sullivan for CISA, attacking those center backs will be key. And I think they can definitely exploit a lot easier than they had in the first 2 meetings. Perez went up to grab that up to Bell in her direction for CISA, played over the top. Here's Whidden chasing it. Whidden around the keeper. Whidden a sight of goal, and she slides it in. The opening goal at the 13th minute mark. Whidden scores her 3rd goal of the year, all against CISA, right around the keeper. Attacking the 2 center backs over the top, took a awkward deflection, fell to her feet, and she finishes it off. The first big chance for Flatirons, cleanly taken.
And how about the connection between the back line and Whidden to find that pass through, and then Whidden does the rest. It's her 3rd goal of the season. She leads the team in goals now, and no surprise, because she puts in goals like that.
I just did not expect that to find its way up there based on the first initial jabs at it in the midfield, but up top, found Whidden, and she put it away. Again, scored the 1st goal of the year for Flatirons against CISA May 23rd in Inglewood, and that 1-0 win. CISA won a free kick here in their own end. But you're right, leading scorer, 3 goals now. And the keeper just a little slow to that one, all things considered. It's Kylie Hyde for CISA in net, her 2nd start, 5th appearance of the year. Here's Perez. Charging on her right foot, strikes it. Oh, off the crossbar, 2nd chance, skied over. Oh, by Sontheimer.
And both of those players haven't scored this season, so you get that first sight of goal. You feel bad for Perez, and then Sontheimer had time again, could have taken a touch, had a moment to think about it, but tried to take it 1 touch on the volley, and that was the demise of that attack. But once again, promising chances. They're going to be now fast and furious, like we mentioned. Because Flatirons got that early goal, they're comfortable now to attack with some creativity.
Bell laid it off to Breenholt, and they play it to the right back, Seehusen. Breenholt around, charging up the right wing here against Kira Barker. And they do lose possession right before the attacking third, played wide to Kulik. Berber's pressed up, and she'll play it back. Kulik started 4 games for Flatirons last year. He's a junior at Creighton. Patrick plays it back to McCorkle, who's going to join you for the call later. The men's game at 8. Solid center back, has, from the games I've seen, not made any glaring errors. Always an anchor back there, makes the right pass. Able to slow things down and speed things up when needed. Perez to Knoll. I think what you want to see from Flatirons too is move CISA a little bit more, switch play more often. Talia lost it, tries to win it back. And this one off of Morris, charging as Whitten, looking for her second on her right foot, strikes it just wide. Second look there for Whitten. Would have been quite a screamer to score that one, but able to win it again off of CISA high up that line.
Yeah, and once again, that's that midfield experience for Sophia Whitten, winning the ball up high. It's what she did when she was further down the field, but now she's got that skill set up top. And against this CISA team that hasn't moved the ball effectively, that's where, you know, she can take advantage, put a couple of goals in as well.
Trickles all the way back to McCorkle and Zoe Whitten. Nice ball up to Perez. This one through to Toledo. Back to Perez. Lots of space here for Knoll, charging it up the right side. Knoll enters the box, centers it, and diving to stop it before it could reach the charging Kirkpatrick was Kylie Hyde.
Yeah, great run there, and that's exactly what Flatirons have done. You see Claire Kulik will drop back sometimes and play right back and allow Knoll the freedom to go forward. And also, what it does is it makes the outside backs for CISA make a decision. Do you go stay with Clara Kulik, who's so creative when she gets the ball at her feet, or do you stay in your position and guard Knoll and allow Kulik that space as well?
Mateo Morris. Back to Morris, and she'll just chop one up. And CISA 0-6 on the year. Negative 25 goal differential, but as we mentioned, a little bit of an improvement from last year, where they were negative 88 in goal difference. 3 goals scored, 91 against. But both their goals this season have come in the last 3 matches, so it's about as good as form can get for CISA. They did lose 3-0 to Albion last Saturday, but the 4-1 loss to Flatirons and a 5-1 loss to Albion. It took 325 minutes to find that first goal against Albion.
3 kick Flatirons.
Flatirons build up out of the back again. Looking for their 3rd win of the year to even up their record at 3-3-1. Knoll searching for an option, plays it through to Kulik. It's been the link-up play so far on this right side. Kulik. Couple of step-overs, trying to get free to maybe dig out a cross. Now back to Knoll. She'll send one in. Cleared by CISA. At the feet of Morris and up to Bell, who's the lone attacker up there. Just hoping to hold up play long enough to see a little bit of support. Did have that one chance early at the first look on goal of this match. Kulik drives one in, nobody there.
And that's one where Flatirons probably have to recognize that Kulik's going to play a ball in a little bit earlier. I think they're waiting for her to take that touchdown to the byline. But when she wants that early ball, those runs have to be made early on as well. Otherwise, like you just saw, she's crossing a ball really into dead space and no one's there.
And this game has the potential to be double digits even for Flatirons if they really execute. Got a goal 13 minutes in from Whitten. They'd like a lot more. CISA just able to clear it. McCorkle chasing it. She'll play it over to Whitten. Lots of space on the near side here for Knoll and Kulik. Perez, Kulik, Knoll over the top. That's offside. And she'll let it roll to Kylie Hyde. Again, 2nd start of the season for Hyde. 5th appearance, senior at Wayne Christian in North Carolina. Back to Kulik. Now Knoll, just had one appearance last year for Flatirons, been more involved this season. Just finished her final year at Radford University, 18 matches played. It's a long kick, and that's something that they miss not having Emmy Sullivan, the free kick specialist.
You go back to that free kick. I mean, what a
Yeah,
strike it was.
truly.
We were both there. We watched it in person. I mean, it was an incredible goal. But yeah, not having her, it's not just about the back line. It's about the organization that she provides.
This one's through. It's Whidden again. Can she touch it around? Not that time. And cleared to Tegan Herbers.
Yeah, and Hyde's playing a little bit higher of a line because she realizes that that first one, if she's up a little bit more, she gets to that ball first before Whidden does. So now the question is, how high does she play, and can Flatirons take advantage of that?
It's a pretty strategic game to play for her, considering down a player, all she'll have to do today. Kulik on her right foot takes a shot. That one just over. Hyde watched it over the bar.
High goal kick.
Worth an effort.
Yeah, not the worst shot in the world there from Kulik. And the way he was dipping, if she was 2-3 yards back, that one's got a dangerous opportunity of going in. But now the question is, can she connect with the rest of that front line in Suntheimer and Whidden?
Here's Seahusen on that far side for CISA. Knocked up to Charlie Bell. Charlie Bell gets it back at her feet. Little 1-2. Breenholt on the ball, crosses the halfway line. Moves it back to Seahusen. Knocked up in the direction of Bell and all the way through to Sargent. CISA, a little bit of build-up play there, but couldn't develop anything. It had that one shot on goal from Bell right at the start, just a couple minutes in. Oh, nice layoff from Whidden. Toledo tries to knock it through the legs of Morris. CISA move it around. Plenty of space to push up for Mateo Morris. And slipping as it came to her was Charlie Bell. Bell, an active name in the roster this season. Again, of course, they don't have many options off the bench to make changes or try different things throughout the year. Had 7 appearances, 6 starts last year. Bell did for CISA. She is the lone engine up top in the attack today. Knocked over the top, chested down. Mateo Morris moves it all the way back to Kylie Hyde. Usually it's Rosenbaum in net. Wasn't an option today. But Rosenbaum in that meeting on June 3rd was the reason it was 4-1.
Yeah, it wasn't her best game, and really, it might have been the elements. It was pretty rainy. It was wet.
True.
So that plays a factor as well. Anna Barkey had a great run at goal and slipped her in near post. So that was another, those goals happen. And for Rosenbaum, it was just unfortunate that all of them happened in one game. Doesn't get a chance to make amends for it today with Hyde in it as well.
And you're right about the conditions. I mean, they played a factor in a couple games, notably the men's home opener against Utah United, which we were both joined together on, and that was really the main discussion throughout the broadcast, because it really did impact the game. Of course, had a delay in the first half. Nice to see the sun shining today. Maybe a little bit hot for this one, but should cool down for the men's game at 8.
But if you're asking a player whether they'd play in conditions like that game a couple of weeks ago, or I guess 1 week ago now, compared to this, I'd rather take this if I was a player. It's hot, yes, you're sweating a little bit more than usual, but at least the ball moves normally. It doesn't get caught up in those puddles like it did a week ago in that men's home opener.
CISA went a throw deep in the Flatirons end. Vanessa Vasquez to take this. McCorkle on the back of Bell. Couple of turns surrounded by black shirts. Lays it off. A touch too far, and Kulik's able to win it. Defender charging in, plays it right at CISA. Here's Toledo, wins it in space. And now Flatirons can move it around. Kirkpatrick, tons of time in that midfield. Knoll waiting for it to be played over to her on the right wing. Charging her is Morris. Knoll tries to chip one, and she'll win a corner off of Morris.
Batted out by CISA. Here comes a CK for Flatirons.
And that's what they're looking for, is those runs outside. It's been a couple of times now that Knoll's made that run to the near side.
Flatirons sub.
As early on,
early
it'll be a
change.
sub.
And it's Kirkpatrick coming off. We'll see who she's making way for.
And with the schedule that Flatirons have coming up, a couple more matches against Albion, you want to keep your players rested and healthy. Kirkpatrick is key to that. So I don't mind an early substitution here from Marina Shahovskoy, the coach for this Flatirons side.
See who this is. Meanwhile, it's a corner for Flatirons, her second corner of the match.
It's Maddie Steiner, the sub.
Kulik will take the corner. And that one maybe took a glance off Zoe Whitten as she tried to direct it goalward.
Maddie Steiner, the sub who came in for Flatirons.
So Steiner now in the match, stuck in that midfield.
So Steiner's one of the younger players on this Flatirons side, alongside Kira Barker, plays at Arapahoe High School, and for Real Colorado Colorado Rapids ECNL. So a player that's looking for those college looks and getting the experience against college-level players, which is hugely important heading into her final season of high school play in this upcoming school year.
Barker and Steiner both born in '08. He mentioned the youth. And Steiner just a little bit younger, a few months. So she's on and Kirkpatrick off as that ball played up, and it's offside. Sontheimer trying to chase that one down.
Steiner played and started against Colorado Storm last weekend in that 5-0 loss. Didn't have a terrible performance, really. That Storm team is filled with talent, as we know, national finals from last year, and she did a good job of holding up play, moving the ball from side to side. I guess the one thing you're looking for more from this entire Flatirons team is that creativity in the final third. Can someone create a chance for a teammate?
Through here is Sontheimer, chasing it up the left wing. Not able to keep it in. That was another little bit of a break. So far it's just been chaos in the midfield, and then suddenly it breaks. Those have been the chances for Flatirons, and one of them put away by Sophia Whitten 13 minutes in. That's the only difference so far. Flatirons keep it in the zone with a throw. Whitten lays it off. That one took a deflection. CISA knock it up. There's Knoll. Kulik. Knoll. Acres of space to move. Now pressed up. Sliding it to Steiner, and this one is unretrievable.
Goal kick.
So far, just not putting the right amount of pace on some of these balls. A little too heavy on some touches from Flatirons. But they've had the runners. They've had the space. And not surprising when you're playing against 10 and not 11. Morris knocks it up with really no plan. Perez laid it off. Now it's Knoll, now it's Kulik. Knoll carries forward. Here's Kulik, man, that's too far again. Unable to link up for that push into the attacking third. Imagine a water break here. It is hot. 30 minutes played, and they'll take a quick break to hydrate. So far, the difference, 13th minute goal from Sophia Whitten. Dribbled around Kylie Hyde, tucked it away. And again, some of them just falling in their direction. That one just a great ball over the top, and Whitten, great touch around the keeper, and a simple finish into the back of the net.
Yeah, really nothing else you could ask for, and that's a striker's finish from a player who's been stuck in the midfield the entire season, maybe finding her new home up top as a player who isn't that center forward, right? She's not going to go out, dribble someone one-on-one, but can drop into those spaces, play as a sort of false nine, and help out the midfield, set up opportunities for her teammates. And really, I think what this game is calling for is more play out wide. Stretch out this CISA defense because they're down a player and continue to just move it around, work the pockets, and find the space until you can find that breakthrough ball out to either Kulik or Suntheimer on either side. That's where the Flatirons will make their mark in this game.
Just so far haven't really had the quality to ping it around like they would hope to and create more chances, but they've had a fair share and they've been able to tuck one away. They're looking for their third win of the year, and they should have it in the bag already, but would like to make it a little prettier, a little more dominant. These teams finished 4th and 5th last year in the Mountain Division. Flatirons 4th place, or CISA 5th, last place. All 3 wins for Flatirons last year came against CISA, and that seems to be where they're headed this season. 1-0 in the opener on May 23rd, and then on June 3rd, 4-1. As they claim the pitch again to play the rest of this first half.
And I think where this division will really be decided, this middle of the pack of the division, because we know probably the 1's going to be Utah, the 2's going to be Storm, and out of the Mountain Division, only 1 team goes to the playoffs.
Yep.
So right now, Storm is playing Utah out in Utah Valley University. That game basically will decide whether Utah will go and represent the Mountain Division.
Both these teams battered by those 2 foes. Both lost 8-0 to Utah United. Storm also laying the pain on them. 5-0 loss for Flatirons recently, and in the opener for CISA, lost 6-0 to Storm.
So the middle of the division is up for grabs for Flatirons. If they can take a game against Albion, got a couple, I think one more matchup against Albion upcoming, an away game at Peak to Peak after they drew at home here 2 days ago. That's where that middle of the division will be decided. Assuming this game ends the way we think it will, that game against Albion is crucially important.
Yep, they'll face Albion on the 17th. This ball, dangerous here. Trying to win it is Steiner, and it rolls all the way through for a corner. Third corner of the match for Flatirons. Nothing too dangerous off corners yet. Kulik trying to drive this one into a dangerous area. Lifted, center, knocked down. CISA looking to clear, and they do knock it away. And Kulik will go pick it up. Plenty of space, as usual. Laid it off, just a bit too light of a touch to Steiner. Herbers clears it, and McCorkle will let that roll all the way back to Sargent. A rare touch.
She did make a save, so
she did.
Got her 1 save of the night so far, and it was one from close range. The shot wasn't too fast, so you expect her to get down and make that stop, but that first save ever so important, and Sargent got the job done. That's all she needed to do to kick off play.
It was a real chance for Charlie Bell, all things considered. Probably could have put that one away. Played through, and easily tracking that is CISA. This one will roll all the way through for a goal kick. That was Sontheimer again chasing.
Goal kick.
She's a redshirt sophomore at the School of Mines. So in her element here. And just a heavy touch from Bell. Barker tried to win it back, and then Bell knocks it all the way forward. CISA can press up a bit here, winning a free kick. Take some of the heat off the back line and Kylie Hyde in net. 35 minutes gone.
CISA with a free kick.
Hyde over to Morris. Now here's Herbers. Pretty clinical player and nearly gave it up there, and now it is given away. Kulik able to dispossess Muzaffar. Just kind of a routine rondo here for Flatirons on this near side where they've done most of their work. Perez was offside there, had to let it go. Morris turns and plays it back.
And what's great about having Sophia Whitten up top is when a player like Nat Toledo now or Mary Perez just a moment ago goes up and steps for that front ball, Whitten is very comfortable in midfield because she played so many games there and so many minutes there that she's okay with dropping back and making those runs back and defending a little bit, even though she is listed as the striker for this Flatirons team.
Barker wins that foot race. Nice layoff by Toledo. Played into acres of space for Kulik. And Kulik waiting for her to take on Herbers on that near side at some point perhaps.
She's got the talent and the skill too. We've seen it all season long. If there's a creative player in this team, usually it's off of the foot of Claire Kulik.
Kulik thought about Noel playing that for a moment. Now Kulik. Nice 1-2, but well read by Morris. CISA 6 returning players from last season. Didn't have enough today, that's for sure. But they've done fairly well so far through the first nearly 38 minutes with what they were dealt. 10 players, the heat. Seehusen knocks it ahead right into the path of Sontheimer. Little dribble, gets around one, taps it around another, ball's free. A free kick won by Flatirons.
Free kick Flatirons.
A errant lunge from, I think, Seehusen there for CISA.
And once again, these are the set pieces. Get bodies in the box. It's been controlled chaos, but chaos nonetheless between these two teams when that ball goes in. We saw earlier on, before Kirkpatrick was subbed off, she had a chance towards goal. Just continue to fire those chances off is hugely important for this team.
And they bring in Kulik to take this. Whip this into a dangerous spot and puts way too much on it.
The free kick is high, goal kick.
Yeah, just got under that one if you're Claire Kulik. And I get the idea for going to goal, but also you've got numbers in the box. You might as well lift one in and hope that either Sophia Whitten or another player like Jade Noel who gets in there can get ahead on it. Trust them to make the play in the midfield.
You never know how it's going to fall in the box. Here's Noel. Perez. Has one shot on goal today. It was a pretty good chance earlier. Sontheimer takes a hit. That one goes just wide of the right post.
Liner going wide and a goal kick.
Good shot selection there from Sontheimer. I don't know if that's her strong foot or not, but took a couple of touches, and that's what she needs to do. She had a chance against Albion at the end of the game as well. Took it first time, just had a second to compose herself, and earlier this game as well, after Perez hit the crossbar, had a second to compose herself and didn't. That time, took some touches, found where the goal was, and just dragged it wide.
Tidley Hyde clears, and she sure has chased a lot of balls back to that fence today. It's been most of her cardio so far. Toledo, defenders on her back, still free, and finally knocks itself free out to Kulik. Noel and Kulik, a right wing connection in this first half. Gets around Herbers, not with a bit of a scuff, knocks it in the direction of Whitten, got a touch to it, still at Whitten's feet, and she taps it in.
Goal does not count.
But it's offside.
Yeah, just one too many touches
This goal
from
does count.
Barker and Whitten.
Catch men throw, but the goal does in fact count.
They will give the goal.
Oh.
It wasn't offsides. I was waiting for the AR. We were
Yeah.
both kind of looking down there.
it's-
A muted celebration, but they do give the goal. So we'll take another look at it. I think there was a player tracking back on that back post that kept Whitten onside as Barker got that touch on.
A good ball from Kulik. Knocks down far post and then comes back right to Whitten for an easy tap in there. Her 4th goal of the year, 2nd of this match. Has both through 41 minutes here. McCorkle tracking back. Here's Breenholt. Digs out a right-footed cross. Back post. Musafar. Too far. Still in play for a moment. Still in play. Stays in. And Whitten plays it up to Kulik. Gets away from Herbers. Now into a bit more space. The flag's coming through. There's Whitten again. And Perez in the midfield chips one up. Too far for Barker. Kira Barker, you mentioned, 2nd youngest on the squad. And Steiner, who checked in, replacing Kirkpatrick about 20 minutes ago, the youngest on the squad, both born in 08. There's Morris on the back line for CISA. Herbers right into the path of Toledo. No, good turn by Perez, but a good foot in there to clear from Vasquez. Seehusen moves it up to Breenholt. Nice ball. It is strange looking at the benches, seeing nobody there for CISA. Just empty.
Yeah, just the two coaches.
Some space here. Try to center it in the direction of Breenholt as a rare venture into the opposing box for CISA. Knocked all the way back. Kylie High chests it down and clears it. The Flatirons would have thrown in front of their bench. Just one change so far. Steiner replaced Kirkpatrick. CISA looking for maybe their 3rd goal of this season. One came against Flatirons, a June 3rd meeting in Highlands Ranch. Took them 325 minutes to find their 1st goal of this season. Came against Albion in a 5-1 loss. And a collapse there as Knoll got shoved away from the ball. Free kick. Looking long as Knoll knocks it up. Here's Whitten. Couldn't get her left foot to that to bring it down. It's out for a goal kick.
Goal kick.
But those are the chances. Once again, we talk about runs in behind and finding those runs. It's exactly what Flatirons have done, and just have to continue the pressure if you're the Irons.
Barker deflected that with her shoulder, then chipped all the way through for CISA. Whitten plays it back to Sargent. Final minute or so to get perhaps a 3rd. Scored 3 in the first half of their last meeting against CISA. Up 2-0 through the first 45. This one slipped through.
Free kick for Flatirons.
Goes the other way as that was Pinto trying to win it off the back of Whitten. Final push here in this first half for Flatirons. And it's Kulik. Knocks it ahead. Sontheimer to foot race to the ball, and Hyde wins it. Playing very high up again. But that's been exactly what she's had to do. Bit of sweeper keeper, which we saw a lot with Rosenbaum. Didn't work out a couple times, though. Knoll. Perez. McCorkle.
And as we approach halftime, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of substitutions in this 15-minute break because of the weather, because you have the options, and really quality options on the bench as well. A couple of players who started last game, and Giselle Hecht and Ollie Levin. You got Mila Stewart as well as an option that can produce offensively. Lily Cook, who scored against CISA last time. A bunch of these options that have came on, have played significant minutes for Flatirons. The level doesn't really drop too much for this Irons team when you go to the bench, which is really important.
Aaron pass from CISA's Breenholt gave Flatirons this throw, trying to work it up. Toledo whips it over to Kulik. Kulik, a quick turn on Herbers. It's been their little battle on that right wing. It's been a story. Toledo nearly a touch as it came into her path, and quite the clear out of the stadium grounds by CISA.
And that one's headed well down into the parking lot, so someone's going to have to track that down eventually. But the final couple minutes or so, don't expect there to be much stoppage time because of the way this game has gone and the nature of it. So maybe one final roll of the dice here for Flatirons.
Try and dig out a cross. At the byline, and it's Knoll with a chance. Point blank, couldn't turn it in. Centered on the net there, and Hyde able to knock it away. Perez.
Really good ball movement here from the Irons to free up the space, but that Knoll chance, that's just a player who isn't used to those spaces. She's not used to having so much space in the box and time to think about what she can do. Fired a shot in and struck it well, but just right towards the goalkeeper, and that's what you can't have.
That wraps up the first half. 2 goals, both belonging to Sophia Witten. Great chances, tucked both of them away, and that is the difference so far. 4 goals on the season now for Sophia Witten. And a very controlling first half by Flatirons. Might want to see a little more quality in the second half. I'm sure, as you mentioned, with some of those substitutes, they can bring on fresh legs and get that taken care of. I would ask you, who do you recommend for CISA, but they don't have any options. So we'll take a quick break. 2-0 at the half. Flatirons controlling their 3rd meeting of the year against CISA. Welcome back to Stermole Stadium for the second half. CISA Flatirons, third meeting of the year. Flatirons looking for the sweep of CISA. And they've got a 2-0 lead to start the second half. Both goals courtesy of Sophia Whidden. A few other chances for some other names. Noel had a chance late first half. 47th minute, couldn't tuck that one away. But it's been a lot of Flatirons dominance as they kick it away. Two changes that we've noticed to start this second half. Anna Barkey comes in, the midfielder, and Lily Cook, number 9, the forward, is also in. Barkey on the ball here early, has it one off of her, and she'll chase to get it back. Good turn by Breenholt, plays it to absolutely no one, and Hyde will walk up and play it short.
Yeah, it looks like Nat Toledo and Izzy Suntime are the two that come off for Barkey and Cook. So a couple changes to get Barkey on the ball a little bit, make sure that she continues to get her minutes in because we know how crucial of a player she is for this Flatirons side. Wears the captain's armband for a reason.
3 changes total now for Flatirons as they brought on Madison Steiner in the first half, replacing Kirkpatrick in the midfield. Number 22, she's of course still on for this second half. Chase back forward here as Barker is bumped off the ball. Charlie Bell, who had that early chance just a couple of minutes in, the best chance of the game so far for CISA, has it knocked out for a throw. Took a while to think about that throw. A header right back to Charlie Bell. Precision pass, and Barker wins it.
Great tackle there from Barker, just keeping composure and really frees up this Flatirons offense to get moving the other way.
Perez plays it wide. Couple quasi chances for CISA. No grade A chances in the first half. That's offside. Flatirons plenty of grade A chances in half number 1. They scored 2 of them, both from Sophia Whidden.
That probably could have been 3 or 4. You think back to that Sunthimer one, open goal. She sent it over the bar, and then the one right towards the end that you mentioned, Jaden Noel had a chance right in front, point blank range, and just rolled it right to the goalkeeper's foot, and it was an easy save in the end for Hyde.
Pinto on the ball there momentarily. Pinto has started all 6 matches for CISA and was just in New York recently, just got back. We're in the midfield. See who picks it up. It'll be Barker on the ball. Hospital ball. And it's 2-on-2 here. A break for CISA. Charlie Bell has it slipped through. Can she play one more? No, it's knocked away. Still into the path of CISA. A strike there from Musafar gets blocked. Not sure what the plan was with that, but Flatirons win it back. Steiner, youngest player in this squad, found Kulik. Rolls it back.
Yeah, and that's one that Kira Barker will want to forget about. Just looking for McCorkle and way too soft, and great recovery from both Zoe Whidden and Keegan McCorkle.
Perez through on goal. Seahusen the only one to stop her, and she skies it over the bar. Couldn't keep it down. Seahusen did well to close it out and spare CISA's blushes on that attack. Things break quickly, and when they do, Flatirons haven't been the most clinical they could be.
Yeah, and once again, it's Perez who just gets too anxious, I guess, in front of goal. She still has yet to get that first goal of the season. It's been twice now where she's been one-on-one and has just sent it high. One time got lucky, rattled it off the crossbar. That one just way too far above the crossbar. As again, CISA finding some space here in the midfield to break.
They certainly are. They've pressed up more times than you'd imagine or think down a man all game. Again, they've got no substitutes available. Flatirons have already made 3 changes. CISA just don't have that luxury. That one played into the path of McCorkle. Still there for Charlie Bell. Now Pinto a strike. That one just wide of the near post, but CISA have peppered a few looks on goal here in the second half early, just as they did early in the first half.
Yeah, Flatirons just getting too complacent at the back. You have to continue to keep up the pressure, right? 2-0. Although you're playing against 10, is still going to be dangerous. no matter the circumstances, and you leave a player high or one bad pass and back, and it can really change the game.
At the feet of Vasquez. Finally gets it off her foot. Greenholt, CISA holding the possession well here. Flatirons trying to press and win it back. And they do. Knocked ahead to Kulik. Tried to get around Krumholz and could not. Lily Cook, one of the second half substitutes, tried to get it up to Perez, but she was offside.
Yeah, and Perez, if she's stepping up, she has to be aware of where that back line is. It's been a couple times now that she's just had to let a ball go because she's in an offside position.
Greenholt managed to track down her poor touch. Knocked to the back line of Flatirons. Whidden trying to rummage for room. Knocks it into space. Perez finishes off. Third goal. It's 3-0. Her first goal of the year. You just mentioned hasn't been able to knock one in, get her first goal of the year. Knocked it off the crossbar in the first half. Missed that grade A chance in the second half a couple minutes ago. And now she finishes. Great assist from Whidden, who's been involved on all 3 goals now. And Perez knocks it through past Kylie Hyde. 3-0. They get the breakthrough in the second half.
Yeah, and that's just the formula, right? Get the ball up to Sophia Whidden. Let her control play a little bit and play off of her and let her create. And that's been what's been working for Flatirons.
Greenholt knocked away by Barker. CISA retained possession as Seahusen plays it back to her keeper. Lots of space for Rochelle Pinto. A 1-2. Pinto tearing up the middle. License to break for Pinto. Things closed down though. She'll have to turn it around. Muzaffar. Lily Cook got a bump in there. They can't win the throw though, Flatirons. CISA get it. It's been dominant, but not as dominant as I'm sure they'd like. Flatirons just
Free kick, CISA.
missing a bit of quality in this one, especially defensively and offensively holding possession. CISA free kick. This is where they miss Emmy Sullivan, their free kick specialist center back. And this is knocked way back and out for a goal kick.
Free kick up and away.
Sargent
Goal
will take
kick.
it. First appearance of the year for Sargent for Flatirons. So look to build out of the back. 8 goals now on the season for Flatirons. -9 goal differential. Cook, a nice pass ahead to Knoll and tracked down as she tried to find Kulik on the return. So doubleheader today. The men's side takes on CISA as well, starting at 8. I have coverage right here. Arnav will have the call for that with Keegan McCorkle, who's on the pitch still, of course. Battling through the heat. She's been clinical. Free kick in a fairly dangerous spot. Perez standing over it.
And the important thing for this women's side, this game against CISA, 3 days later, you'll have Albion away. And then to close out the season, 2 more home games against Storm and Utah United. So really the season coming to a close pretty quickly for this women's side.
Slid through, looking to center it. Centering ball, Cook got a foot to it. Still free, Kulik drives it in. What a strike on the volley.
One save, but the rebound
And it's
goes
4-0.
in.
Seen a couple of those rebound goals. The second goal was similar for Whidden. This time it's Kulik driving it in with the right foot. Past Kylie Hyde. Second goal of the second half. And they've doubled their lead since the halftime break. Kulik with the second chance. What a volley into the back of the net. After the initial cutback couldn't find the back end. It's now 4-0. Kulik able to knock in the 4th. Her first goal of the year. Started in 4 games last year for Flatirons. Of course, didn't score this year on the score sheet for the Irons. Some more flags being run through the heat. Do feel a little bit for some of the children running those flags. It is not the most pristine day to be doing that. Pretty hot. Might have to do it a few more times. Hyde knocks it straight up. Headers it only as far as Kulik.
Had a chance to shoot that Kulik
That
with Hyde
certainly
well
did.
out. And just got caught up a little bit under her feet. Couldn't control it cleanly, but frees up Barkey on the near side.
Barkey had a goal in the previous meeting with CISA. Third goal in that 4-1 win. Knocked out for a corner. Just window dressing from here for Flatirons, but I'm sure they'd like a few more. Craving a couple more goals to really drive this one home.
And the important thing is you want to get back that goal differential, because if Albion and Flatirons play out another 0-0 draw, the end of the season is going to rely on how many goals you score versus how many goals you give up, because the head-to-head is going to be completely even, 2 draws each way.
Here comes the cross. Floated back post over everyone's head, and this one will trickle out. And no better chance to do that than this game. You're up a player the entire 90. It's hot. You're at home, and it's CISA. So, I mean, check all the boxes.
Really been a struggle this season for the away side to string things together when you don't have the consistent roster. And Flatirons have had the same issues as well. He traveled to Utah with a pretty thin roster, and that's what led to that 8-0 scoreline. Is you don't have the substitutes. Players have left, been injured. So Denali Levin's a big one that came back from injury and made an impact in that game against Albion with her hold-up play and how she plays moving forward. So getting those players back has been huge for Flatirons, and hopefully, you continue to stay healthy going into these final couple of games, because unlike last year where you get 12, this year you get 10 games, and you have to make it work with a 10-game schedule.
CISA surrender possession in a dangerous area again, but when Flatirons let it slip through their fingers. Two early second-half goals. Kulik, the most recent. And Whidden, who's still up there, assisted. Here's Kira Barker, second youngest on the squad. Her and Steiner, who link up there for a moment, both born in 2008. This one, nice stop there on the back line by CISA, then a clear over the head of McCorkle and back to Sargent. Once again, making her first start of the year, first appearance for Flatirons.
Made a good save to start the game. Since then, it's been smooth sailing for Sargent at the back. But those are the tough games as a goalkeeper, because you expect to be so switched off. You
This
have to
one
make a
through.
chance.
Hyde backing up. On the ball, knocked up was Steiner there into the path of Hyde. She was arguing that she was getting grabbed by her shirt, but no whistle. And a simple stop for Hyde.
And they won't call those because she got the shot off. Had she been dragged down before the shot got off, there's a chance for that to be called, especially with that pull of a jersey. But you're still able to get a shot off, and it was a good shot at that, just right into the hands of Hyde.
Sargent plays one in the air to Barker. It was directed toward her, but Breenhold wins it, running all the way through the midfield and then all the way back to Hyde. Kylie Hyde's going to be a senior at Wayne Christian in North Carolina. Second start of the year. Just let 4 trickle in. Breenhold has been active in the midfield for CISA.
Free kick, CISA.
And Flatirons get the free kick. Oh, excuse me, CISA. Not sure what I was saying there. It is hot, but still a beautiful day. We've got the beautiful backdrop, as always, at Stermole. Vasquez takes a free kick, knocks it on one hop into the hands of Sargent. Aaron touch from Steiner, able to shield Pinto and wins a free kick.
Free kick, Flatirons.
That's good maturity from the youngster to be able to
No
know
doubt.
that you took a bad touch and position yourself in a way to win it back. You don't see it very often, you know, especially the younger players, and especially in the men's game. You take a bad touch and immediately you're fighting someone to get that touch back. But Steiner does a good job, just positions herself in the right way to stop CISA from advancing on the ball.
Steiner tried to find Kulik, who did well to jostle her defender. Space to play this one across, and they do, to Barkey. And Barkey, one of the changes at halftime. Her and Lily Cook came on, provide some more creativity up top. Barker plays one centrally, and Steiner there to win it. Sontheimer chips one. Cook chasing, it's offside. Quite clear that time, and
Offside flag up and
Cook
free
not
to
able to get a
CISA.
good chance.
Yeah, Cook just has to curve her run there, right? Noel does,
Yeah.
Noel does a great job on the far side of looking up, finding an option. But the option she sees is Cook, and Cook's sat 3 yards offside. Got to sit back and watch that line.
Bell knocked out for a CISA throw. It's not an easy ask for Charlie Bell up top there for CISA. Always a defender on her back. Moves afar. Charging. Plays the ball too far, and Sargent will pick it up.
Barker's got space here to work. I don't mind that ball.
Slid through. Cook just onside. Perez. Space. Sontheimer. Plenty of space here. Charging. It's Knoll shooting, and she scored a fifth. Knoll chips it over Kylie Hyde to drive home the fifth.
Yeah, and Mary Perez does a great job there of letting that ball go past her and then allowing Knoll to run on, and from there it's smooth sailing, right? Continuing to run. She missed the chance in the first half, makes up for it here with a good strike into the top corner, and all of a sudden the goals are flying fast and often for this Flatiron side.
Noel, the one who put it
There's
in,
nobody
number
back to
13.
pick her up. Basically a one-on-one, even with the bodies forward and back defending for CISA. That's kind of space she was given. So Jaden Knoll scores her first of the season. She'll take the throw here. Gets it into Cook. Run made by Steiner. Plays it up to Kulik. Steiner in the box. So is Whidden. So is Barkey. Right to the hands of Hyde to make the grab. Couldn't quite get her toe around that to whip it in. Just past the hour mark in this one. Flatirons have found a way through 5 times.
We got an update at a half as well from out in Utah. Storm take a 1-0 lead into halftime. So that could be grounds for a big upset in Storm trying to climb their way back in. Even though they've lost 2 already to Utah this season, if they can pick this one up, they need one other team to beat Utah in the final stages.
Steiner tried to tap it around Hyde, who was able to stand tall and make a block. Now CISA break the other way. And easily won back by Barker. Tips it up to Barkey. Tried to lunge in there on Pinto, who wins it. Plays it up to Breenholt. Up the right wing, chasing it, could be too far, and is. This is where things could really, if they haven't already, get out of hand for CISA. Again, tired legs. Still just under half an hour left. Flatirons ready to make another change. We'll see who that is in a moment. They've made 3 changes so far. And they've been good changes as well. Steiner in the midfield. Barkey up top, Cook up top. And here's Barkey. Plays one long, looking for Kulik. Rolls through Hyde, who's played most of this game out of her box, it seems, where she has had to be in. This one's knocked up and offside as Perez tried to control.
It is offside. Flatirons free kick.
Give a chance
CISA.
for the substitute
Flatirons
to
about
come on.
make it so.
No one's really stepped off yet as they continue to show for the sub, but no one's been the sub just yet. And now it is.
Yep, it's McCorkle who will trot off. And a quality 64, 65 minutes.
So the only two defenders left on the bench for Flatirons are Kira Robertson from Adams State and Ashley Wells from Alabama Huntsville. So it's going to be one of the two coming on. Looks like Robertson's on to slip into that left center back role and stand in for McCorkle, who has started every single game this season, played, I believe, the most minutes on the team now, with Winton missing this game. Or at least she's second to Winton, who's played 6 full 90s coming into today.
Barker. First touch for Robertson. Robertson's from Flagstaff, Arizona, just wrapped up her sophomore year at Adams State. And knocked that one through, and Cook up there. It's a header. Tracking down, played all the way through as there was a collision far side. Charlie Bell active up top for CISA, and a free kick for Flatirons.
Free kick. Flatirons.
Again, this is pure window dressing at this point, but never hurts to grab a few more, especially given the circumstances. Up a player at home against the bottom feeder of the Mountain Division. Kulik ships it through, nobody there to make the run.
Yeah, it looks like Noel was offside,
Yeah.
so had to stop again. I think this Flatirons team is okay with letting CISA have possession at the back. They don't want to give CISA a free kick and allow them to just launch the ball forward into space.
Good ball to Breenholm, but Barkey able to win it momentarily.
Free kick for CISA.
Too heavy of a bump, and they win a free kick in the midfield. Start to look ahead. You mentioned the upcoming fixtures for Flatirons. Not easy. They've got Albion next on the 17th away, and then the 2 home games against the 2 battling it out right now in Utah for what could be the deciding match in the Mountain Division. On the women's side, Storm and Utah United. Those are going to be a week apart on the 19th and the 26th here at Stermole. Sargent going to get another touch. First start, hasn't been asked to do a lot. One out for a throw for CISA as Knoll had a defender wriggle around her and win the ball. For CISA, it's Utah United next on June 19th in Utah at Utah Valley University. That is not going to be a fun trip. And they've got Albion and Colorado Storm at home to close out their schedule.
Free kick. CISA.
And they win another free kick here in the attacking half. We certainly feel that Flatirons could potentially beat Albion in a few days' time and get their first win in a couple years that's not against CISA.
It's just a momentum boost, right? You get today, you get the shooting boots under you, you realize that maybe Sophia Whitten up top is the answer.
Free kick right to Sargent.
And now it's about, can the players around her finish those chances? They had chances against Albion to close out that game in the 80th minute, right? Suntimer had a great volley where she just needed to take a touch and take a moment to compose herself, and wasn't able to do that. 0-0 draw at the end of it.
Barkey up the left wing in space. Barkey charging through. Can she get around the last defender? Cuts it back. Kulik on her right foot, curls one over the bar.
Kulik's try high.
Almost her second, almost number 6 for the Irons.
Yeah, and that's once again right at the top of the box on her right foot. That's exactly where Claire Kulik wants it. But even if that one was on target, I think right down the middle, have to find one of those corners if you're this Flatirons team and move, hide around a little bit in net.
Jostle, and won by Flatirons. Barkey has it. Slipped through too far for Steiner. 3 goals in the second half, 2 in the first half. The most lopsided result between these two this season. The first 2 meetings, it was 1-0. Whidden scored that winning goal, 55th minute at Inglewood, and then 4-1 the win in the rain in Highlands Ranch. This one could get worse. Greenholt wins the jousting header between Seahusen and Barkey. Vasquez with Steiner on her back. Greenholt trying to return for Vasquez. Sticks with it as Barker came up to win it off of her. Robertson, now touchdown by Barker. Steiner playing a bit farther back that time to cover the spot. Kulik. 20 minutes left. CISA surprisingly had a good bit of possession today, and they still have a chance to enjoy a bit more. Grumholz clears that momentarily, only as far as Whidden, who travels around 1, gets brought down, no whistle. Flatirons still able to break here. Knoll. Excuse me, not Knoll. That one's chipped through. Chance here. Whidden could be a hat trick. Still on the ball. Shoots. And it's in. Sophia Whidden with a hat trick on this Saturday, the 3rd meeting against CISA. She's got 5 goals against CISA now. 1 in their first meeting, 1 in the second, and a hat trick in their 3rd here at Stermole. 2 first half goals and the 6th second half goal. Whidden, it was another awkward lack of composure and an inability to clear from CISA that led to the chance. And Kylie Hyde in net just has not been able to buy a save. 6-0.
Take another look at that when we get the chance as the ball next time ball goes out of play. But just composure up top is exactly what Flatirons have needed all season long, and finally it looks like they found it with Sophia Whidden up top. Takes a touch around a defender, frees up a half yard of space, and then just fires a shot. Way too hard for Hyde to even have a sniff at it. She got a hand to it, but deflected it right back into her net.
Slid over to Robertson. The latest change for Flatirons, their 4th substitution. This would be Flatirons' 6th consecutive win against CISA. Had 3 last year. Those were their only 3 wins, finishing 3-9. Hoping maybe they can get a win against a team not named CISA on the 17th when they face Albion again. 2 more changes coming here. Flatirons get an eye on those numbers. Here comes the throw. Perez, a touch. One of them. Steiner a hit. Oh, what a hit! Madison Steiner, the youngest player on Flatirons, with a screamer to make it 7-0. What a hit. Fell to her. Right foot just guided it in top right. Man, best goal of the bunch we've seen today with about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, what a strike from outside of the box. A good layoff. It's right to her right foot. Doesn't need to take a touch, just one time. And into the back of the net. that's the best finish of the lot tonight for Flatirons. And like you mentioned, still time to make a difference in this game with 7-0.
They've won it back again. Barkey.
The ball to
So
CISA.
the flags get run out again. CISA do win a free kick there. Good sell, I guess, by Breenholt. You can tell the exhaustion is setting in for CISA. Just haven't had the luxury to make changes like Flatirons and bring in those youthful legs that can generate more creativity. Vasquez, trapped in the corner. Digs it out, but nobody there, pressed up. Kulik, looking in the direction of Barkey, will chase it down. Good ball. Maybe a bit heavy, though. Barkey just couldn't get there.
Throw in for CISA.
This will be a quick water break, just as they did in the
Now
first
time
half.
for a little water for the players.
About 15 minutes left. It's a touchdown on the board for Flatirons.
Another look at the Steiner
Oh.
goal here from well outside of the box. Just tucked it into that far post, High dove towards it, was nowhere near it. Had way too much pace on it.
A well-deserved water break if you're Flatirons, and CISA as well, not having those changes, substitutes they can make. They've been running around and to no avail today. But Steiner with the most stunning goal today. Outside the box, right foot, top right corner. Could there be more? Could there be double digits on the horizon? Who knows?
3 in 15 minutes is a lot to ask, but even if you can get to 8 or 9, I think Flatirons is happy with the result no matter
no
what,
doubt,
right?
no doubt.
7's a great number, but you always have to think about that goal difference number in mind, and I wonder maybe now, do we see more substitutions come in for the Irons? I believe you still have one more window, if I'm not mistaken, because the halftime one doesn't count, so maybe you try and put on one more player, 2 more players up top, fresh legs as well.
This is not the largest loss deficit of the season for CISA, though. They lost 8-0. Both teams did to Utah United. It could always get worse, and the way things have been progressing likely will. Everybody getting involved for Flatirons. I'm sure it's a lot of fun playing in this one if you're an Iron. Always a chance to score, always a threat. Just not a lot to worry about.
Yeah, and it's been pretty calm at the back as well. That one chance in the first 3 minutes, I think, woke this Flatirons team up a little bit. Made them realize you can't be too complacent. No matter the level, no matter who the opponent is, you're going to have to play a clean game. So that first chance in the 3 minutes that Sargent saved, probably the best thing that could have happened for Flatirons, because then the Flatirons team realizes, hey, we can't take this game too easily. We have to turn it on, and that's exactly what they've done.
So we'll pop the cork on the last 15 minutes or so out of the water break, and it will be Seahusen taking a near side throw. Finds Bell. Foot in from Barkey. Another throw for CISA and Seahusen. Charlie Bell. Seahusen taps it up. Direction of Steiner and Cook. And Cook, defender at her back, makes her fall. Knocked away. She tried to lay it off to Barkey. Quick turn to win it back the other way. Barkey, space through. Good touch. This is Denali Levin. Cuts it back. Levin sends one in. A foot to it. Still in the direction of danger here, though. CISA finally able to clear. Only as far as Barkey, though. Has a hit and skies it out for a goal kick.
If you're Denali Levin, you have to shoot that, right?
Yeah,
You've got it in the corner of the box. Maybe try and pick out that far corner. just couldn't get there in time. As you're right, Levin's back on for the Irons. She played a couple of minutes last game. Also, Ashley Wells subs on to shore up the back line and maybe step up into the midfield as well.
Sacanella's line down a goal kick.
Again, CISA happy to take their time here. Not allow in an 8th or a 9th or a 10th or an 11th or a 12th. Vasquez plays it all the way back to Hyde. Made a couple of saves, but not impressive saves today. Ball sent skyward on a header in the midfield. Played to the back line. Wells. Steiner scored the 7th goal. Into the path of Breenholt. Has one option available, but 2 defenders to close it down.
Great stand there from Kira Robertson. Just jockeyed, waited for that position to open up, waited for the player to make a touch too long, and stepped in perfectly.
Final 10 minutes of this 3rd meeting of the season, final between these two, CISA and Flatirons. This one slid through, but too far. A lot of action up that right wing in this second half, as we saw in the first half as well. CISA in space. From holes, not on the same page, and Barker wins it. Robertson through, offside. Levin was just a bit mistimed there on her run. This will put Flatirons at 3-3-1 on the season, and definitely improve that goal differential. It's been cut down so far from -12 to -5. Over the top, back heel touch by Bell. Defender on her back. Still jockeying. Lays it off. Pinto.
And she's done well, Rochelle Pinto. She's been really the source of creativity for this CISA offense. Not that there's been much, especially in the past 40 minutes, but a couple of good runs forward, just couldn't find that final goal.
Kulik a small shield to secure the goal kick. Number 13, Charlie Bell, up there limping. And nobody to replace her with is the problem. She's really been their only creative, commanding force up top. As they give her a minute here to catch her breath and shake this one off. Smart stoppage of play from the official. Just about 7 minutes left here for CISA to rummage through, limp through. Ball rolling again. Barker. Play to the top line. Good foot in from CISA. Perez chests it down, now back to Steiner. Levin. Oh, that was intended for the far right wing, but right into the feet of Caitlin Wells. Vasquez somehow fought through and kept possession. As a hit, it's right at Sargent. Second shot on goal for CISA. Lily Cook trying to play it back, and it's won by CISA. Here's another hit. Just farming shots now. This goes wide of the post and out for a goal kick.
Sometimes you just have to, search for offense. You can't break through this back line. You don't have the numbers or the creativity to have a dig from 40 yards out. Why not? And don't mind the few shots from CISA. Because Sargent hasn't been tested other than that one save in the 3rd minute, you have to make sure she's still mentally clocked into the game, which she was, as of those 2 recent saves as well.
Charlie Bell was a bit shaken up earlier, still walking around with a limp.
Yeah, can't really do much. Limping really heavily on that right foot.
Takes a deflection. Closing in on it was Perez. Flatirons easily win it back. Barkey centrally. Levin wasn't expecting it. Here's Kulik back on the ball. Perez, a pirouette. Plays it up into more space. Cook on that top line as it trickled through to a CISA defender. Now Seehusen. That one's at the feet of Barkey, and now Kulik runs it back. Wells. Turn pass from Perez. Looking for an 8th. Levin had that one attempt earlier. Around one defender. Levin has a hit with the left, and it's gone in! Levin lifts in an 8th. And the Kylie Hyde disaster class continues in net. What a spot, though, from Levin. The substitute makes it 8-0, matching the worst result of the year, the 8-0 loss to Utah United.
Yeah, and what a shot from Levin to recognize where the space was in net.
Yeah.
Hyde was well out of her line, thought about coming out and playing a ball, and just wasn't positioned in the right spot and had to adjust to it. So Levin, great finish. Hyde in the wrong spot, and Levin just has to take advantage of it, and she does.
And you pointed out earlier when she had that chance in the box and decided to cross, should have just taken the shot. And this time she does, and it finds the back of the net. Bell. 3-0 decided to keep it at her feet, not play the 1-2. Now into space. Chasing it is Musafar. Won by Wells. Plays it back to Sargent. Everyone getting involved. Sophia Whidden, the hat trick. Steiner, probably the best goal. And Levin, maybe the second best, just a minute ago. Another day to forget for CISA. And will likely be the story for the men's side in about an hour.
Free kick, CISA.
Circumstances were tough. Can't deny that for CISA. Everything against them. On the road, the heat, and they don't have any substitutes, and they're down a player to begin with. Free in the midfield. CISA win a free kick handball.
See if you can grab another quick look at this Levin goal. Great run through. Yeah, just 40, 35 yards out. Touches to the left foot and lifts it well over Hyde, who was positioned just too far in front, near the penalty spot when she had to be inside the box on the line, and Levin lifted it perfectly over her.
And it's pick your poison, Rosenbaum or Hyde, if you're CISA. Free kick driven with some considerable pace, but
free kick
over the bar.
Goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst shot there as well. They've come close a few times, CISA, when they decide to have a go from distance, but haven't tested Sargent yet. Just made her think a little bit more and shuffle her feet from side to side.
It'll be Albion on Tuesday for Flatirons. True 0-0 on Thursday. In a game they certainly could have won. A lot of quality shown. Barkey, what a ball through. Levin could be a second. It was offside, though.
Offside, Flatirons free
Too
kick,
much pace
CISA.
regardless. I would have had that covered. Final minute here. Arnav, any thoughts on the men's game coming up? Obviously expected to be not this score line, but similar dominance in some ways.
Yeah, the interesting thing here that we're looking at is a lot of rotation on the men's side because played last game against Albion. It was a tough game, and Albion probably should have won that. They missed 2 or 3 sitters, and Flatirons end up getting a penalty at the end and squeaking one out.
Barkey chases it down, keeps it in. And she touch it around Seahughes, and she does. To Kulik. Might favor a cross here. Kulik. Centering pass. Here's a shot dug out by Wells. Kind of turning. Didn't get a lot of power on that, and that is it. Full-time whistle. 8 goals for Flatirons. Matches the worst result of the year for CISA. 8-0 against Utah United. 8-0 against Flatirons and Stermole. You see a nice display of sportsmanship here as they help off Charlie Bell, who was limping in that final 10 minutes or so for CISA. Sargent, the goalkeeper, will help her off. Made her first start today. Didn't have a lot to do. Made a couple quality saves, played well out the back, and 8 goals for Flatirons, a highlight, playing up a man. And the biggest highlights, Steiner's hit, the 7th, what am I saying? And the hat trick for Sophia Whidden. 5 goals all against CISA now on the season. Domination, exactly what we would expect. I'm sure they'll be happy with the number of goals they found. Floodgates open, they never really closed. Any closing thoughts here, Arnav, on this matchup? I think we've covered it all.
Yeah, really, it was front-to-back domination, and head coach Marina Shahovskoy is going to be happy with the result. Obviously, it wasn't a perfect game from either side. 3 minutes in, CISA had a shot on goal, but after that, Flatirons woke up, played good soccer, and that's really what it needed to do until the end of the day, and that's exactly what they've done. Now, quick turnaround. How do the players respond to playing 2 days ago, and now in 3 days you go play again? So you have a day off tomorrow, most likely. You train on Monday, and then you go again on Tuesday against Albion away. Tough matchup. Albion's going to have a lot more players back for that matchup, so we know that team's good. How does Flatirons respond and try and secure that third-place spot in the division?
For now, 3rd win of the year for Flatirons, all 3 against CISA. Celebration for Marina Shahovskoy and company. Her first year as head coach, and things have gone well at times, have slipped through at other times. They've certainly got a big game coming up on the road Tuesday against Albion, a jostling position in the middle of the Mountain Division table. As for Arnav, everybody else running cameras, doing media, I'm Sam Johnson saying so long for now from Stermole. We've got the men's game, Arnav on the call, coming up in about an hour or so against CISA. So long, 8-0 win for Flatirons.